What was your initial link up with Yams like? Explain y'all's genesis, y'all's relationship.
Yams was my boy. You know what I'm saying? We met in Texas at South by Southwest.
Oh yeah, the OG South by days.
We got into a squabble. I remember at the Fader Fort with. It's like a legendary story. And then
you got into a squabble not with him.
No.
Like, together.
Like, yeah, it was like something broke out over there, and they were like, "Oh, the homie down," and he just took a liking to me. And then I'd went back to LA, and then I did this record, and he put it like this is back in like the Tumblr days.
Yeah.
So Lamborghini had the Lamborghini Tumblr, and he put my record on there, and then that started getting motion, and then blogs started picking me up, and then he was like, man, like, I think you should really like do this. This is fire. But back then, the goal was to get Earl Swavey through the door. You know what I'm saying? That was my little bro. Rest in peace.
R.I.P.
And I was like, focused on getting him through the door. When he went to prison and came back, my career kind of blossomed. So it was like tables, like it kind of, reversed.
Do you feel like, because back then I feel like we don't get it like Yams doesn't get enough, I guess. He had such a great ear. Like he was such a great curator of like taste. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like a lot of the stuff he touched, a lot of the people he co-signed, like went on to do such big things.
Man, yeah, I know he happy looking down because me and him, like that's really how we connected is just like our love for music. He was like, you know what I mean? And same with Cardo. Like Cardo hit me because he's like, Yams was my boy. Yams used to pull up and play me your stuff. And then when me and Cardo linked and we realized like, I'm like Cardo talking about Brother Lynch and Hollow Tip and X-Rated and Keek the Sneak. Like Northern Cali, like from the Bay all the way to Sac was like a huge influence for me when I was
Oh yeah, all that Black Market Records
Black Market Records was the shit.
Season of the Sickness is a fucking classic.
All of that,
My goodness.
And shout outs to X-Rated. That's my boy, man.
Such a dope dude, man. I just had him on the pod not too long ago. He's
great
legend.
Human being. Yeah. And that to me, when we were younger, we'd pride ourselves on like kind of finding the like underground shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, the X-Rated shit, you'd be like, yo, this motherfucker's really got cutting records in prison?
In prison. And it was hard. So
yeah.
When I found out that Cardo was into that, and then he just really wanted to work, and we were gonna do the tape. That's when I brought G Perico in. You know what I'm saying? I met G Perico at my boy Dub Quincy White.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, this one he's going by.
He's
Dub.
a fucking alien.
And we walked. I walked from my hood to Athens Park is real close. So I walked over there, and that's when I met BG Perico for the first time.
That's when y'all did G Worthy.
Well, that's when we first met, and then he ended up going to jail, and I got a call from one of my homies that was locked up in there with him and was like, so-and-so. And when he was locked up, I would start playing Yams' music. He had this song called Bussin'. So when he came home, and then I was with Earl, that's when we formed Use a Trick. And then that song came out, and then that's when me and Freeway Rick really started, getting together and forming our business together. And the rest is history, man. So when you go listen to Once Upon a Time, man, there's a lot of history on there. Freeway Rick narrated it. He know me. He's seen my whole come up. And I'm a big movie guy. I don't know if anybody's seen the movie Once Upon a Time in America, but
of course.
You know what I'm saying? That's where the aesthetic comes from. Yeah.
Having him narrate, obviously you say you guys had business together. For people who don't know, give me the history of you and Freeway Rick's relationship.
It's real crazy, man. At the time, I was living at Big Face House.
Games Brother
on Brazil and Wilmington, the old Black Wall Street. And, I was trying to transition from street life into just being more legit. And I had got the idea after watching the movie Good Hair by Chris Rock to start selling hair, to start like importing weaves and selling Indian hair, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm Indian.
Yeah.
And Rick also was doing the same thing. and he had heard about my name, and I was doing it like on some baby boy shit,
Right.
pulling up to the beauty supply spots and being like, popping the trunk, like, hey, no, don't go in there, come shop with me. So, anyways, me and Rick.
Oh, y'all was doing that?
Yeah.
You'd be like, you guys could go in there, or, or I got it for the low in the trunk.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, me and Rick, we met up on. I'm like, yeah, I'm in Compton, and he like, oh, well, I'm in Carson. I said, well, let's meet up right there where on the 91 freeway down Central, right where like the borderline of Carson and Compton are at. And I'm thinking at the time, Rick gonna pull up like, it's Freeway Rick, it's the kingpin. I'm thinking he gonna pull up in a Bentley or Rolls Royce or whatever. I had no idea. And he just pulls up in this bucket, you know what I'm saying? A little Hyundai. And at the time, this is another crazy story. I had Tory Lanez with me, and I brought Tory Lanez for his first time to Compton, and he just rolling around with me. And he want to get back home. He living at Sean Kingston house at the time. I remember this
Checks
when
out.
he was when he was songwriting or whatever.
Yeah.
But I had him tipping with me through the hood. So I'm like, we're gonna go meet Freeway Rick. Freeway Rick is like, yeah, man. So we chopping it up, and he's like, man, I got to do a podcast. This is like early on too. Like I don't even think like many podcasts were really even out. And he's like, let's go. He's like, man, let me put some gas in your car, and let's go to Moreno Valley, and let's go do this podcast. I'm like, all right, for sure. Tory from Toronto, he don't know where we going or whatever.
Right.
This is a mission.
Moreno Valley is a real mission.
Yeah, hour and a half, 2 hour drive. He mad as a motherfucker, man.
Because now he's just stuck.
He just stuck, and then we got to go do a podcast. I'll never forget that, though, man. Me and Tori still joke about that. But that's when that relationship formed, and then, Rick seen where I was living and, knew that I was hungry and trying to get about from my situation and just, elevate. And me and him would link up every day with our hair, or we would go to Fairfax, and we would get a bunch of free clothes, and then we would come back to the hood and sell them. So, me and Rick, we started together, man, like for real.
And it all started with hair.
It all started with hair.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's something about the hair industry that most people don't know?
I don't know. I haven't been in it for so long. So
like, let's say, what would you flip a weave for? Like, what would it cost, and what would you be able to sell it for?
A bundle was like going for like $150 or something like
that. That's what it would go for on the street.
Like it was. But
like what would you pay
4
for
ounces of hair or something like that, and you would have to have like the Remy or like the real like Remy Virgin, I think it was called, or like,
damn.
Yeah, they would come in bundles though, and you could buy them in like keys. So it's funny that I was like dealing with Rick, and we buying like
kilos of hair.
Kilos of hair. Yeah.
So what's a kilo of hair cost back then?
I can't even remember. Like I remember the bundles were like $150 or something like that. But the money was good. I made good money in it, and then it just got oversaturated, and then music took over, and my passion wasn't obviously selling hair, so. And then with Rick too, Rick's a hustler. He just like Rick was selling T-shirts, hair, doing appearances, books. We was just moving all the time together, and then it got so busy for him and so busy for me. When you listen to the intro, you know what I mean? He says something that touched me. He was like, he said, so often me and Jay had kind of parted ways, but not on bad terms. But when we run into each other, we would see each other in different cities, and we embrace each other like lost brothers, because it was like, damn, like here you are. He might have an artist, or he might be dealing with a boxer, and here I am in a different city, and I'm doing a show or whatever. And yeah, but that's my brother, man. We still talk every day, and shout outs to Freeway Rick. You know what I'm saying?